Hello and welcome to Pushing Cardboard. I'm Grant Lindenberg, and today we are unboxing On to Richmond II, the Union Strike South from MMP Games. This is part of the Great Campaigns of the American Civil War series. This is a bit of a funny one for me in that I've had this, I got it off of their pre-order system. I've had it for a while and I still haven't popped the shrink on it. I have a couple other games in this series and I still haven't played through those yet. So I thought, I don't know if I'll like this series or not. I probably will. Lots of people love this series. It's a popular series. But who knows? Maybe I'll just leave it in shrink and then if I don't like it, well, these games always go out of print. I won't lose money on it. Probably in 2 years' time, you could probably sell it for twice the price, the way MMP lets things go out of print. But just my luck, it turns out that there was a problem with the maps on the original print run of this. And there's no way to know if you have the bad maps or the new corrected maps without opening it up and having a look. And I've heard that MMP's been great. They'll send out the maps to anybody who got the bad ones. But my plan for leaving this in shrink and letting it appreciate in value fell away with that. So it's time to do an unboxing of it, and if for no other reason, well, let you see what's on the inside, but also to let me see if I have the good maps or the bad maps. I don't know if I'll be able to tell it on first look, but we'll see what's in here. It's a big, heavy box, as usual, for these for this series. The ones I have, at least, are generally these big ones. It's a medium-low complexity, they say, for this series, and a medium solitaire suitability. I'm not. I've always heard these are pretty good to solitaire, but who knows? Anyway, let's just dive right in and see what's going on. And I'm anxious to see what I've got here. I do suppose it was probably silly of me to keep the game in shrink, as I have a feeling once I play my first GCACW, I'm going to be hooked for life, and that's going to be that, and then it'll be a sorry process of trying to track down more volumes. But I do have a couple other. Here we go. So, on to Richmond II. We have the typical. It's funny, the included die looks so much like the old dice you used to get with Avalon Hill games. It's kind of exactly they're carrying on a great tradition. That's what I'm trying to say. The little card that says if you have problems, call this number. Get that in all of the MMP games. And then we get a big book, On to Richmond, the Peninsular Campaign. Is this a... Yeah, this is the scenario book. Oh, maybe more than that. It's got On to Richmond, basic game rules, and then scenarios. Well, it looks like this looks a lot like there's advanced game scenarios. This looks like just a lot of scenarios to me. 8, 9, 10. And then some, look, the pages haven't been fully cut at the back here. A background history article by Joe Balkowski at the back. So that looks, and some more designer notes as well. So by both Joel Balkowski and Ed Beach. As far as I know, Joel Balkowski originally designed the GCADCW system, but it's now in the hands of Ed Beach, as Joe Balkowski is dedicating himself more to history and the museum. I think he's maybe the director of the museum for the 29th Infantry Division or something like that. I could have that all wrong, but sounds kind of right. Here's a counter sheet for On to Richmond II. These are half-inch counters, so small, but clear, nice and clear. There we can see the Union leaders at the top there, and the Confederate leaders at the top there. Two-sided. GCACW standard terrain effects chart. So some of these things won't even be on this map, you would think. Well, let's have a look at the rest of these counters here while we can. Here's another sheet of counters. Way more leaders on this one, including both Grant and Lee. Grant's a 5, Lee's a 6, whatever that means. I'm against it. No, I can't say that without knowing anything about it. But that's interesting to note. Charts and tables. We have a combat chart, retreat chart, cavalry retreat, sequence of play, random events, extended march table. Here is the standard game rules, version 1.5. Well, they say it's not a hard game, and it's only 22 pages of rules. The rules are glossy, so there's a fair bit of glare, and kind of a pretty old school small print here, but a fair amount of white space, so it's not too blocky, and each page is in 2 columns, which makes it a little better as well. But yeah, that's a tiny font. That's going back to Avalon Hill days, in maybe not the best way. A bigger font would be easier on the eyes for sure. Okay, oh, here we go. So we already saw the On to Richmond campaign and scenarios. Now we have the Petersburg campaign and scenario. This will be that campaign and scenarios. Yeah, same thing here. So this is going to be a book of a bunch of scenarios. 1, 5, 10. Here's advanced game rules for the Petersburg campaign. I suppose the other game has that as well. Scenario 12, so 12 scenarios in there. Okay. More counters. These just like your basic infantry units for the Federals, along with a bunch of marker counters. Oh, those will show up when they're flipped over, that's for sure. Disorganized. I'm going to leave these maps till last. Okay, and then here's the third batch of scenarios and games. Grant takes command. So basically this is sort of like 3 sets of scenarios. Petersburg campaign, On to Richmond, and Grant takes command, the Overland campaign. So it's going to have easy basic rules up front, some scenarios, and then we're going to get advanced rules for Grant takes command, and then some advanced scenarios at the back, much like the other two, and then some historical notes at the back again. Man, these are, if nothing else, these are really thorough packages. I mean, look at those 3 books, 64, 64, and 72 pages. Those are beautiful productions. A second copy of the charts and tables. Unit force display. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be one of those for the Confederates as well. Here's the Confederate, just the infantry markers, and their just markers, the infantry units, and then the Confederate markers for control and whatnot. There's the disorganized side. There's the other die. Oh, one more sheet of counters. This is just markers. All right, and then we're down to the organization display for the Confederates, and finally the maps. And I don't know if I'll be able to see right here. I don't recall off the top of my head what the map issue was, other than I think it was just that they don't align perfectly. But let's give you a nice close-in look at some of this map, so you can. It's a super detailed map. Fairly easy to see what all the terrain is, I think, but man, there's a million little names. If they say things like, instead of saying start in hex 2222, instead they say start at the sawmill or something, you'll never find it. So I'm pretty sure they'll use the proper hex numbers. But that wow, that is super detailed, beautiful. Here's the north half of that map. I think that was the on to Richmond South map. This is the on to Richmond North map. Zoom out and get a little yeah, gorgeous. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna have to look up online, see what the issue was with the maps, and then go from there to try and figure out if I have the good ones or the bad ones. This is just a single map. This is the map for Grant Takes Command. Yeah. Oh, that was called the Grant Takes Command South map. And this is the Grant Takes Command North map. So I don't know how they were meant to go together, because this one had this sort of edging all along all four sides. Maybe that's what the problem is. Well, we'll find out. But there's the Grant Takes Command other map. And then Grant Takes Command. Oh, I see. We have the Grant Takes Command North map, South map, and the On to Richmond North map joins up. Well, we'll see if that all works. But here's what they're calling the off-map theater display. That's on one side, and for the Petersburg campaign, a turn track. Holy smokes, turn 1 to turn 296. Wonder if anybody's ever played the whole 296 turns. Well, there you go. That's everything in On to Richmond II. I will I'll find out soon enough if I have the right maps or not, but If I don't, I'm sure MMP will happily send me the right ones. It's a beautiful looking package. No two ways about it. The counters and maps are just gorgeous. And man, this series has a lot of fans. So I imagine once I get into it, I'm going to be one of those fans as well. Well, thanks for watching another unboxing, however unlikely one. I'm Grant Lindeberg. Check out my podcast at pushingcardboard.com, available on anywhere that you download your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music, wherever. See you next time.